Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Purposeful Powerhouse podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about navigating the Black Friday and holiday sales season because, my friends, at the time of release of this episode, it is in full swing. And I don't know about you, but having all the tools that you can have as possible so that you have a breath of fresh sales flowing into your business with a little more ease and a little bit more lightness and spaciousness sounds good to me, right? Because let's be real, you're a small business owner, which means you're also the content writer, the SEO, the website designer, the graphics maker, the stylist department, the lighting department, the makeup, whatever, the chief energy officer. Yes, all of those things. I mean, you got one of those too, right? Not the chief executive officer or chief everything officer, the chief energy officer, because that's truly what is needed to be able to navigate this crazy busy season that we are upon and in currently. And I mean, let's be real, most seasons, but this one seems to be a little bit more full when it comes to service-based online entrepreneurs and even brick and mortar entrepreneurs and small business owners. There's a big momentum around this time of the year. So being the chief energy officer is really important, right? Because your energy is everything. It's the driving force in your business. It is the undercurrent and the currency of your brand, if you will. And so today I want to be sharing 3 different tools, practices, tips with you to be able to keep your energy on point so you are able to navigate the hecticness of this current season. So let's talk a little bit about maybe some of the challenges that you might be facing, right? And real talk with you that I definitely have faced before. And if I'm not mindful, then they happen, right? And so it can feel like a lot to do all of the prep and the promo. And you might be kind of moving into that or thinking about it and kind of questioning your sanity of like, oh man, am I really going to do this again? Do I need to do this? Does having a crazy, inexpensive deal cheapen my brand? And all of those questions that you might be having, as well as, the fact that your brain may be on board with it and is like, feel like you're just kind of wearing your thinking cap 24/7 and bing, in the middle of the night, you're getting all these bing, 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 bing ideas and, 3 a.m. brainstorming sessions, not exactly conducive to a restful night's sleep. And then what about wanting to make sure that you have a plan, you have a strategy in place that feels really good to you, that doesn't cause you to lose what's left of your sanity or feel like you're selling your soul and all of those things. And so those are some of the challenges that often present for people. And so let's talk about how you can start to use some of these really powerful tools and really available tools to be able to make sure that you are keeping that steady flow in your energy and your focus and your creativity. You're showing up with that vibrant magnetic energy that is your beautiful, beautiful essence. So let's talk about tool number 1, tip number 1 is more than likely you have mapped out your sales strategy for the season, right? Or maybe you're in process and that's all good. It doesn't, have to be a right now thing. So either you've done that or you will do that, or maybe you might do that, or you're maybe more of a wing it sort of person and all good. And so say you have created a sales strategy. You have an offer that you're going to deliver. You are looking at creating some email content, an email sequence or some social media content, so that will build that know, like, and trust factor, create some intrigue, help to bridge the gap between where your community is at and where your offer will help them to go, and like all of those things, right? So you have that kind of mapped out, either maybe in your brain or maybe you're like super on it and you've got a whole spreadsheet and I don't know what, I'm proud of you if you do. That's amazing. Teach me your ways, oh wise one. So there you go. You have your sales strategy, right? You know approximately when you're going to do all these things. You have, ideas of when you want them done by, yada, yada, yada. That part you probably got on lock. But what is supporting the sales strategy beyond, Kajabi and Instagram and whatever other CRMs and platforms you're using? What What is supporting that strategy? Dee, 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 dee. That's the thinking music of you trying to figure it out. Yes, you got it. Oh my goodness, you're so smart. It's you. It's you. Okay, so it's really important that once you have your sales strategy mapped out, you also have a complementary and supportive self-care strategy. Okay. So if you're going to be pulling on letters, writing that fire email sequence, and you're like, yes, that was amazing. And then the next morning you're going to get up and deliver a live or do a whatever, or I don't know. It's really important that you are not burning the candle at every end, that you are doing the things that you know you want to do for yourself, that you are committed to doing, because yes, you do care about how you feel. And yes, you know that your energy is the driving force in your life and in your business and is the common denominator in everything. So how can you align your sales strategy with your self-care strategy? So what does that look like for you? Are you scheduling in your workouts? Are you doing your yoga practices? Are you doing your breath work? Are you doing your journaling? Whatever it is for you, right? In the last episode, I shared a really powerful practice, a proclamation practice that we do inside the Rise and Vibe movement. That's really, really powerful tool to just get you aligned to the vision, right? That's the component that we work there with, is to align your mind. And so if you haven't listened to that episode, it's the episode before this one, and I think you'll really like it because it's a really awesome practice and people are loving it in the Rise and Vibe movement. So look at how you can schedule that in, right? We all know if it's not in the calendar, it's probably not going to get done. So, I mean, I can't say that for sure, but I know that is a pretty solid rule for a lot of people I know. It's a thing. It's all good. No shade, no shame. So that's tool number one. Tip number one is to align those strategies, right? So you are making sure that you're taken care of. Okay. And if you happen to hear any strange squawking sounds, I don't know if you know this or not, chickens and roosters are abundant here on Maui. And so if you hear some weird sounds, everything's fine. That's what it is. Okay. So then one of the tools beyond the powerhouse proclamation practice I just mentioned, which is in the previous episode, you can go listen to. Another one of the tools that I think would be really supportive for you and is really aligned with tool number one is, and is truly the most effective way for you to actually enjoy your life and show up fully and, be able to achieve the goals that you're setting for yourself. The number one tool to do that, the secret to doing that really, is to amplify your morning routine. Because darling, you already have a morning routine, whether it is, yoga and exercise and breath work and journaling and activation and power statements and whatever, like we do inside Rise and Vibe, or it's grabbing your phone and scrolling until you get triggered and then finally realizing like, I don't want to feel like this. Maybe I'll go try to meditate. And then you sit there and meditate and you just mentally pace back and forth. And that might be your morning routine. And that's okay. 1,000,000,000% over. It's totally okay. If you like that and it's supporting you and it actually helps you to feel good, bingo, bango, there you go. Or if you want to actually make it something that helps you to achieve point number one by truly amplifying the energy that you put into that time that you give yourself. That's the essence of amplifying your morning routine. To amplify something is to expand it, to make it more vibrant, to make it fuller, louder, brighter, all those things. So as you anchor yourself into this decision of, okay, well, I'm going to spend some time with myself, for myself, by myself in the morning time. How can you amplify your morning routine? So the three pillars of doing that are to, one, that we just mentioned before, align your mind, right? So you can use that practice that I share in the previous episode, or whatever that is for you, right? How do you get connected to the vibe of your vision? Do you like journaling? Do you do tapping? Do you do prayer? Do you do meditation? Do you do breath work? Like, align your mind to that point of focus to connect to your higher self, to the truth of who you are, all of that fullness, your wholeness. That's the first pillar of your AMR, or your amplified morning routine. The second one, because in case you forgot, you're not a rock. move your body. That's the M, move your body. Again, that can be something as simple as walking your dog, right? Or going paddling on the ocean, if that's your thing. Maybe you do workouts or yoga or dance. Move your body, move energy through your body. And as you take that intention of really activating the vibe of your vision and dropping into that most powerful, confident, sassy, feeling all sorts of amazing version of yourself, that's what you're doing in the movement practice, right? And yes, we could talk about the physiological benefits of exercise and the cardiovascular and the respiratory and the bone density, and we can talk about that. You want to talk about that? Because there's a lot of it. Okay. We can talk about the regulation of your nervous system. We can talk about the hormonal balance. We can talk about the sleep improvement. We can talk about the bone density, the muscle mass, the toning. Yeah, strong, toned, sexy, powerful is also a thing. So move your body. Okay. So if you like a little bit of science, there it is. And also from a productivity point of view, when we exercise in the morning, it boosts your oxygen levels throughout your entire body, which of course includes your brain. And so then it gives you that boost of creativity and focus and playfulness, just makes you a generally nicer human to be around when you're feeling, happy and light and energized. Okay, so whatever camp you want to take the motivation from, there you go. So really to make it even more supportive of navigating the hecticness and really staying in alignment with your vision and all of that, then use that as a time to really connect deeply to how you want to show up and how you want to feel, right? And so it's more than squats. Yes, we love squats in the Rise and Vibe movement, but also make sure that you're doing them with intention and you're using it as an opportunity to really activate and fully express and fully connect to the version of you that you are, that you want to be, right? It's an embodiment practice in a sense that you decide to use your body very intentionally as a tool to fully connect to your guidance, yourself, the moment, whatever it is, right? And then finally, what you're doing there. So you align your mind, move your body. And then as you do those things that we've been talking about a little bit here, is you're rewiring your system because you're gaining familiarity with that version of you that lives in your vision, your higher self, the version of you that you are becoming through this practice. You're actually rewiring your system. You're cultivating this experience by giving yourself that tangible felt sense when you're in the practice, when you're doing the moves, which then helps to create that sense of familiarity. It rewires your nervous system. It regulates your nervous system. As you cultivate those empowering beliefs through those proclamations and power statements, you're actually creating new pathways in your brain that align and support that belief. So it's powerful, right? It's not just, I work out in the morning because that's what I do. Why not amplify it and make it even more impactful? Okay, so that's tip number 2, is to amplify your morning routine. And then the third way to really navigate all of the craziness of the holiday season, and whether that's in your business or in your family or on social media or whatever, are to take power pauses. So what is a power pause? A pause is that moment or 5-10 minutes where you, just like in your AMR, your amplified morning routine, where you drop into the present moment, you get out of your head and into your body, where you take a break from the chaotic squawking and chirping that goes on in our head all day, and you tap into a place of connected awareness, a place of groundedness, a place of activation, a place of reset. And one of the most powerful ways you can do a power pause is by using your breath. The breath is like the Swiss Army knife of life tools. It literally can do anything you need it to when you know how to use it in that way, right? Even just learning to slow down your breath and breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth when you're feeling really wound up or stressed out is such an impactful tool. If you're low energy, and you want a burst of joy and playfulness, we speed up the breath and we make it faster, or we add in movements of the arms, right? If you want to activate creativity, there's lots of different ways that you can do that. And so even, just simply bringing your fingertips together and using your breath in a really rhythmic way. So if you have your hands free, you can bring your fingertips together and you can just move the breath in and out, in and out like that. You can do it for a minute. That gives you a boost of energy. Bringing your hands together like that stimulates the corpus callosum, which is a band of connective tissue in your brain that helps to awaken creativity and memory and focus and all that. And so that one is a really powerful way to give yourself a timeout, right? It's like power pauses are like recess time for adults, okay? Remember when the teacher sent you outside? It was for them, for sure. But it's also for you, right? It's important that you take these pauses, especially when you are in that kind of tight energy, feeling stressed, feeling overwhelmed. Your brain is going in a million different directions, except for the one you want it to go in, right? And if you're feeling as though you're sitting there and you're trying to, I just need to write this email sequence, man. I just want to get it done. And your brain is like this, not doing anything. But yet at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's bing a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding, and dancing all over the stage like some sort of caffeinated monkey troupe. I speak from experience. There's so many different ways that you can use the breath, and that's really what power pauses and the breath is all about. And so just take a time out, right? You can just play with your breath. You can do some movements. You can do some yoga. You can walk your dog. You can lay on the floor and thrash around and shake. I don't know, whatever. Just take a break. My goodness. The hustle culture is literally pushing us to that level of exhaustion. And we have this sort of mentality of like, I must get it done and I must get it done fast. And it's a lot of times, and for myself, this was the case for a long time, is this internalized pressure and demand that it needs to get done. It needs to get done now and by me, and having that high level of demand on myself for a really long time. And I realized, this, I don't do well in those situations. I feel that tight, restricted energy. I feel like it blocks off my creative flow. It doesn't feel aligned with who I know myself to be and how I want to show up as a leader. And so it just, luckily I was able to recognize it. And so if that's a thing for you too, especially if there is a deadline, right? If, Black Friday happens on a certain day, so you want to get things done ahead of that, or whatever. So we just want to make sure that you're monitoring that level of internal pressure. Power pauses are kind of the equivalent to, when you put a boiling or a pot of water on the stove and you set it to boil, and it starts to boil and you can see it rumbling and it's it's gurgling and there's steam and the lid's kind of popping off. Power pauses are the equivalent to you safely, with an oven mitt, taking the lid off that boiling pot of water so that you can release some of the steam, and then turning down the heat a little bit, right? And ideally, we do these in combination with your morning routine and doing these throughout the day and having that plan for yourself. Ideally, we don't get to the point where the water is boiling over and it's splurting all over the stove and it's making a massive mess. Hopefully, we can get there a little ahead of that. And all we need to do is just turn the temperature down and it's not going to boil over. Okay, so that's really, hopefully what I'm trying to help you to do is boil the water without making a massive mess. I mean, bring in a breath of fresh sales into your business without losing your shit and having a meltdown every day. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you today, is how to navigate the holiday season, both in your business and in your personal life, with a little more ease and a little more grace and a little more space. So if you don't know, and now you will, the Breathe to Succeed breathwork bundle that takes you through 10 of these incredible power pauses where you'll learn how to use your breath in so many different ways for 3 different needs or situations you might find yourself in this season. I've designed the sessions so they're completely different. They're 10 minutes. And we've had people go from a 1 to a 10 in just the course of the 10 minutes, a 1 to like freaking out to a zened out, blissed out 9 in just 10 minutes. That's how impactful power pauses are. That's how impactful your breath is. Remember, it's like literally the Swiss Army knife tool of life when you know how to use it, right? A Swiss Army knife tool can be a little overwhelming if you look at it. You're like, I don't even know what that part's for. And what do you do with that part? So when you know how to use the tool, like you'll learn in the Breathe to Succeed bundle, it is literally becomes your go-to for everything, right? Just like how people are with Swiss Army knives. Like people that use Swiss Army knives can use it literally probably to, I don't know what, perform surgery if they needed to. I should hope it's sterilized, but you know what I mean. I was looking for a not freaky analogy. Anyways, I hope you're laughing. So yes, the Breathe to Succeed breathwork bundle is only available during the holiday season because it's designed for the holiday season. So it's only, there we go, going to only be available until 11/11. Okay, so November 11th. So if you're listening to this episode before then, make sure to grab it because guess what? When you grab it for $11, you have lifetime access to it. And you can use it all year round, not just during the holidays, because I bet once you get to experience these, you're going to want to use them because they are that powerful. But if you're happening to listen to this later in the future, beyond November 11th, and it's not available anymore, it will be next year. But reach out to me because I have other things for you because I want you to have one of these tools. Okay, so if you're in the future and you can't grab the Breathe to Succeed breathwork bundle from the link in the show notes, then DM me and I'll make sure to hook you up with something else because I don't want you freaking out over there. So thank you so much for listening to this incredible episode. I hope it was insightful. I hope it was incredible for you. I hope it helps you to navigate Black Friday and the holiday hecticness with the smoothness of Santa on his sleigh by really using these tools, right? I hope it helps you get inspired, get a little bit of innovation in your own routine and rituals because, just because it's the holidays doesn't mean it has to all fly out the window and you got to wait till New Year's to do anything for yourself. That sounds silly, doesn't it? But sometimes that's what people do and it's okay, but not you, right? No, because you care about how you feel. Huh? Yeah, I know. I just asking. So thank you for being part of this incredible movement. I love you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.